And it goes on. Welcome back to Big Silly Goose Gaming, and I wanted to talk to you guys about the Nintendo Switch 2, the Direct, everything that was going on. They're in a limbo state right now, developing that console or selling that console, especially now because of all of the tariffs that are going on. They're like, how can we how can we still sell this product that's that earns them money? That's all that really matters. And because of that, they're like, oh snap, now that things might be more expensive for us, we might have to upcharge it. And people were already pretty unhappy with the price point. I don't want to speak for myself here, but I don't know, dude. It's always hard to gauge what everything is worth or how much they should be charging us or whatnot for a game like that or a video game console. Obviously you should be, you should know that you should expect to spend some money on a new video game console, but how much is too much? You know what I mean? When do you kind of say to yourself, okay, when does it stop being a good console and it starts being I don't know what the right word is. It just sort of feels like everything's getting more and more expensive, and it feels like the price point or the change isn't really as hype as it used to be. It used to be such a huge deal when a new console was released because you were getting such a big upgrade, and the games that they were releasing were so unique or groundbreaking, right? And now it feels like at least with gaming or in the people who really game or people who are really deep into it, it's nothing is really all that new or fresh or exciting. It's just kind of repeats of the same old. So how I don't know how you get people really excited about the Nintendo Switch 2, or what do you really say to people about hey, do you want to spend hundreds of dollars on this console that should have been upgraded a while ago? What do you say about that? You know what I mean? I guess that's some people's I don't want to say issue. I think that's the wrong word. It's some people's I think it's some people's main problem is that they're not giving us anything that we shouldn't already have had. It's more why did I do that? I knew that was going to lead to death. Okay, anyways, my point being is that Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, it was pretty good. I thought it was really cool. The only thing I didn't like, or maybe it was kind of I guess it was everybody else's sentiment towards it, was that, what's it called? Those electronic, some of the, I don't know what's the right word. Some of the game cartridges are not going to be real game cartridges. They're just going to be, whatchamacallit, they're gonna be downloadable games on there, but they're not going to be I don't know, how should I phrase it? They're not going to be the actual game downloaded onto the cartridge. Some of them, not all of them. That's more or less what they're trying to sell you on is that, hey, you can have this digital game, and then they upcharge us $20 what we usually pay for. So a Nintendo game is usually $60, right? So they're upcharging now to it's actually going to cost you $70, $80, $90 for a game, and it's not even going to be all that worth it anymore, or it's not going to feel that huge of an upgrade. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, that was disappointing to see, is that you might not own the game, or you might not have the opportunity to really have it, and it's just more so I don't know what's the right word, a placeholder, or it's just essentially the way that I was explained, or the way that it could work is, so you're gonna have the game, and you buy the game cartridge, okay? And then instead of you actually having the game on there, like a physical copy, it's more so like you're gonna have access to like their servers or whatever, and then from that, you're gonna be able to download the game with the cartridge. And it's like, okay, you paid for the game, we have this game on our servers, you can now have access and pay that for that game. And that's it. And I was kind of like, what? What kind of a... That didn't seem like a good deal. I was like, why don't I just own the game? Like, why... What's all this, like, I download it stuff. Like, that didn't... I hated that idea. So, because of it, I was just kind of like, that doesn't sound exciting. Or, that sounds like such a rip-off, a scam, really. And I was like, I don't very much like that idea. I think it is scamming people, but obviously it's not going to be for every game. And everybody that I've seen, like all the YouTubers and people that have kind of like reviewed it or gotten an opportunity to play on it and play Mario Kart World and whatever else is out there, there have been great reviews on it. So I just feel like as long as the games are fun and everything else is cool, then I guess you can kind of overlook everything else. But now, who knows how expensive it might be? They might have to upcharge it. And that's the part that sucks, is that like, oh snap, now everything's gonna be... Everything that everybody didn't like about it already, it's gonna be more and more expensive. And it just felt like, I don't know, now that with everything going on in the world, it just feels like, ooh, everything is gonna get affected and everything's ruined now, I guess, so to speak. So, I guess you just kind of have to figure out, like, you know, what's worth it to you. Do you think a Nintendo Switch 2 is all that worth it? If not, then, you know, the console isn't for you. That's all there is to it. If you do feel like it's worth it, then you should probably splurge for yourself, you know? And it always feels like there's never going to be any real change or effectiveness or anything that's going to really make a difference when it comes to these gaming companies, because we don't really stand up. We don't really stand up for ourselves, you know what I mean? We don't go like, we're boycotting the Nintendo Switch 2 or this game or whatever if you don't drop the prices. And that's because there's somebody else out there who will spend that price for it no matter what, just to review it on YouTube, just to talk about it, just to have like an insider look at it, you know what I mean? So there is a market for and people who could actually like spend the money or actually care about spending that money about that stuff. So because of that, they always have like they always have customers, they always have consumers, and they can just do whatever they want. And because Nintendo Switch is raising their prices, that gives everybody else in the gaming business to raise their prices too. They're like, look at what Nintendo's doing. They're raising their prices up 10, 20, 30%. I mean, yeah, $30. We can do the exact same thing, and everybody's worried about GTA 6, talking about it's going to be $100, and I'm just like, ooh. And people are not happy with that, obviously. I guess it's more so like, what's the right word? It's the GTA 6 is a very anticipated game, and I would imagine that it's gonna have a lot of people directly going straight towards it, so that's why it's so expensive, and it feels like a lot more I don't know, it feels like there's going to be a lot more people interested in playing that game, and a lot more like traffic on their servers, and a lot more people doing stuff. So it may crash, it may not. I don't know. But for me, I just feel like that's gonna be a really heavy game. Like that's gonna be there's going to be a lot to do on that game. There's updated graphics, there's the violence, there's the driving, there's the chasing, there's the thievery. It's just all coming together, and because of that, that makes it such an enticing game, and people have been wanting a GTA 6, so it's just all of these things in between. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like in total, maybe the best way to look at it moving forward is that it's never too late to play video games, you know what I mean? And it's very exciting for video games right now. It's very exciting to have a Nintendo Switch 2 for GTA 6, for PC gaming, for PlayStation, for Xbox. It's all very exciting right now, and you just have to look at the positives and understand that you're never too late to play video games. So even if you miss your opportunity to play GTA 6 or to play Mario Kart World, or, you know, like on first release, you know, there's always going to be a new game to release. There's always going to be a new something. There's always going to be something. I think last year it was like everybody was addicted to Elden Ring, Black Myth Wukong. Yeah, all of that stuff. It was just all kind of coming together, and people were really loving those games and a part of that game. Marvel Rivals, everybody loves. So it just feels like now is so exciting, and it doesn't matter if you're the first one on there. It just matters that eventually you'll get there, you'll play it, and you'll have fun with everybody else. That's what it's all about, I think. So, you know, whether how expensive or inexpensive it is isn't really the interesting part. The interesting part is the game going to be good, and is it going to be worth it? Is it going to be fun? And are you going to be able to, like, have fun with your friends and play games and do stuff like that? I think that's the important part to look at. But until then, we're going to make it there somehow. But, you know, until then, we're just basically going to have to figure out, okay, what's the next step? You know, what's the best step for myself? Or, like, what am I going to do for me, you know? But anyways, until they give us more updates and obviously a release date or whatnot, it's going to be, you know, it's going to be a bit difficult to know exactly what these companies are going to do. And especially when it pertains to the Nintendo Switch 2, they may raise the price even more than it already was. So it's going to be a little bit like, hey, what do I do? What do I spend my money on? So anyways, long story short, the Nintendo Switch 2 might be more expensive than it already is. People are unhappy with the price points for the games. Games are going to be a lot more expensive, but you don't have to be the first one to get it. You just work on your own time. Figure out, okay, I want this thing. How do I get it? And then move accordingly, I guess. So, anyways, it's exciting to be a video gamer or to play video games or to be in the position that we are now of having so many things coming our way. It's going to be fun. So, anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Yeah,